Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Strategy and Growth Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, definitely come check us out. We'd definitely love to have you. And that community was put together specifically for coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that 6 and that 7-figure level. So if that's you, come check us out. Now, today I want to introduce you to one of our community members, Maryn Azoff. Welcome, Maryn.
Thank you so much. Honored to be here.
Awesome. You're welcome. So tell the members of the community what it is that you do.
I am a vocal transformation coach. So what I do is I help people find the power of their voice, the way they speak, the way they sing, even if they want to, but the way they use their voice to manifest their reality. Mm-hmm. So most humans don't realize this, but the human voice is a vibrational tool that we have that actually can help you create the world. And this is a very, very, very ancient wisdom and ancient knowledge that we've had for many, many civilizations. But I think it's time, and if you look at, especially now in our time in history, I think it's really important that people know how to use this to truly create the life that their heart desires.
Mm-hmm. So how does someone use their voice to create the life that they desire?
So the voice is vibrational, right? And if you look at the world, we have a science, we have quantum physics. Correct? And so there are many people who will write that off, but I believe that most people in the world have seen the proof of quantum at this point. So that basically proves that everything in the world is vibration. Everything is energy, and it's all connected, right? Why we attract clients is because we have a certain frequency, a certain vibration. So if someone feels that frequency coming off of you and they connect to that frequency, they're going to want to work with you, they're going to want to hire you, or they're going to want to invest in you, right? That connection is the key to life, why humans want relationships, why we want to start businesses and share ourselves with the world, and why other people are out there looking for people. You know, it's like we need that connection. So your voice is a vibration. Your spirit, as I would say, comes in through breath, and then your body creates a resonance. You can hear, you can feel it. There's a vibration in the voice, and that vibration creates a certain frequency. So some people talk up here, and some people talk down here, and some people talk in bird, I would say. But regardless, that frequency is literally sending out a physical vibration. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not really there. And then it collapses into physical form. This is something that many of the ancient languages that we have on this planet have been giving us for many, many centuries, but not everybody has found it yet. Mm-hmm. In this time.
Now, so is it possible to use your voice the wrong way?
Absolutely. Well, I mean, no. Okay. I can't say wrong. I can just say in ways that will create a life of discomfort. But I can't say that discomfort is wrong, because I don't know that I necessarily believe in right and wrong. I just believe in what is. So you can use your voice to create a negative environment. You can use your voice to destroy relationships. You can use your voice to make other people doubt you, right? If someone's insecure, they tend to have a shyness about themselves, which automatically says to somebody, this person doesn't really know about themselves or doesn't really believe in themselves. So why should I believe in them, right? So you can use your voice in ways that obviously will influence the outside world to react in a way that you would consider negative. For me, that would be a bad thing, but that's not necessarily the truth. It's just whatever world you're creating, right? But you can also learn to use your voice in a way where you inspire other people, where you show your true self with confidence and with power, and you can be more direct instead of diffused in your energy. And then you can really start to watch how the physical world responds to that, right? Now, I'm not just speaking manipulating people, because this is not at all where I come from. The way I teach is not about manipulation, although many people in this world have studied with voice teachers that have taught them how to manipulate, right? But that's not where I come from. I help people find their authentic, true voice, which means that you speak from your feelings, your truth. And that's the world you end up living in, instead of speaking from your thought process or your program and then creating a world where you might not even be happy with the most success you can create. because it's not what your soul really wants, right? So there are politicians who've done all sorts of studies on like how to say the right thing in the right timbre to get people to vote for them. And, you know, there's all these ways of manipulating, and manipulation is a big part of our voice, right? So what I do is actually remove all that and get you to your truth. And so once you're there, you have no choice but to create the life that you want, because you're going to be living in your alignment. And so you'll be creating the world around you according to your heart center.
Mm-hmm. So what's your, before you got onto this path there, what did you do before? What's your, how did you get to be here today?
I was a professional singer in my youth. They found my voice when I was 5, and I did a lot of different shows and theater and professional music, and got signed to a label when I was a teenager. And in that process, I realized that, yes, I had a talent, right? I naturally could sing. I was born with the ability to sing, but they gave me a competitive nature in that when I was younger. You know, the voice was there, but there was a lot of insecurity around it because I was always in competition. I always had to be the best in the room. I always had to get the part that other people were going for. And so it was something that I thought I loved. And that's the big thing about this work that I do. It was something that dream was given to me, and I dreamed it. I wanted to be famous. Of course, we all just want to be famous. What I've come to learn later is this idea of, I'm a good athlete, I'm going to win the World Series, right? Or I'm a great singer, I'm going to, you know, win a Grammy Award. That idea, that dream is ego-based in society. But what it originally stems from is the fact that we all know when we're young that there is a greatness inside of us. So when we come across a talent, we realize that, like, we could be the best, right? Now, there is no the best. That's something that we have to understand. We don't know every single being on this planet to know who the best is. So the best according to what? So ultimately, it's just the fact that we know that we can achieve great heights, right? And so I didn't know that. I dreamed of that when I was younger, but it was always a struggle. Like, how do I get there? What if I don't get there? And this like failure of not getting there, and the insecurity that would come around that would make it hard, you know? And I see that in business and with everyone I work with now too. They have the dream, but to the drive, you know, the way that if it comes from your truth, from your being, nothing will stop you, and nothing can stop you. So what happened was I decided I wasn't going to be a singer anymore. I got involved in the industry, and it was like, I thought I had gotten the thing you're supposed to want, and I realized that this is not at all what makes me happy, you know? So I decided to leave, and I went on a very long spiritual quest. And I stopped singing for about 7 years. And I experienced myself in many other ways. I ended up living on an ashram and doing a lot of Sanskrit meditation, which a lot of my work is in this language, which is a healing vibrational language. And so through that, I saw the power of the voice, not for, look how talented I am, but for manifesting. Like, I literally saw how our sound could manifest the world. And I learned all this, experienced it, not just in theory, and realized that the voice was for something much bigger, which then got me on a shamanic path. So I was living in Australia at the time, had a very terrible accident and almost died. And when that happened, I met my first shaman. So I ended up on a journey, a spiritual journey of rediscovering who I really am, what this all really is, and how to use that in our society. You know, not to be the end of it. We have a beautiful, beautiful world full of people, and we have to all function together. But if we really knew how powerful we were, there'd be no issue. Every single human has this divine spark and this voice. And when this voice is used for creativity and creation instead of for destruction, we'll start to see incredible shifts on this planet. So the more people I work with, and the more people that come to this truth within themselves and start to learn about, like, what their voice is, what parts of themselves they hide out of fear of judgment, out of fear of not being accepted, out of fear of failure, right? When they start to move past all that and really with all their confidence in themselves, move through it, there's never anything to fear. And that's where you become the creator of your own life. It doesn't fail. But yeah, so that's how I got into this path. I started to, I learned about this ancient wisdom of Sanskrit, and I learned about the power of vibrational sound. So sound healing, which, you know, the medical world now accepts all of these as truths, that it really works. You know, it's not just some hippie, airy-fairy spiritual nonsense anymore. We all really are seeing the results, right? Humans have the power of healing, right? We've seen it many times. We've seen that someone has stage 4 cancer. Deepak Chopra is one of the first people, I guess, to bring it really out into the mainstream, but many teachers have shown us now. Someone has stage 4 cancer, they're given a couple weeks to live. You get them to sit with Deepak and he gets them to meditate and really gets them to tune in on bringing white light onto their tumor, and their tumor melts down and suddenly they're fine. And, you know, 10 years later, they're still here without cancer. How does that happen? It happens because there is something much larger that we are, that we don't let ourselves be here, right? So whenever we can open up the crown and really accept our highest self in, we have the power to heal the body. And the only time that happens is when we check the mind. Think about the person who's you know, about to get into a car accident and they know they're about to die. Like, there's no way they're surviving this. This is like they're going off the side of a bridge, and they're praying and praying and praying and praying with all of their might. And the car goes into the water and they get out and they're absolutely fine. And they have no idea how they lived through that thing. But some divine grace saved them, right? That divine grace is you. It's me, it's us. But it's only us when we step that small I out of the picture. And those moments come for humanity in times of such desperation that we have to put away our small self. We can cure cancer when we finally believe that it's beyond us. Like, I've tried everything. I can't do anything else about this. So please just, I want to live. Heal me. I'm not finished yet. And then we can let it in, right? But we have that power to bring in healing energy into our body. That's something that human beings have, and we've seen it now, right? So we have that power to bring that in and use that through our voice to actually bring that vibration into the world. That's a lot of power, right? But most of us are so scared of ourselves. What would we do with that much power? So the work that I do gets you completely aligned with that highest self and the earth, so that when that alignment occurs, you know exactly what to do with your power. Because that conversation that happened before you came in, of spirit and earth, the Taoists call it the original noble heart. I call it the original contract. So your heartbeat is the very first thing that you hear when you know you have a child, right? The baby is conceived and boom, 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 boom. It's actually faster than that. But that heartbeat is holding the whole reason you've come. Your heart truly has why you're here. And what the Taoists call that is the original noble heart, which is the dance, a celebration of all of cosmic spirit and all of the earth energy that comes together in celebration of the potential of this life and the choice that it's made to come to this realm, right? So you have a divine purpose. But once we come into the world, we kind of are set to, like, here's the 25 careers that we have in our society right now, and here are your strengths. You get this in school, like, you're great at math, you'll be an accountant, you're great at science, you'll be a doctor, you'll be, you know, they tell you like where you'll go, and that starts to limit us and limit us and limit us and limit us. And so my job that I do is to get you back to that original conversation. So maybe with all this power that you have, you can actually learn how to direct it through your voice, through your being, and you can actually create something we've never even seen here before. Something that is so big that it'll change the face of humanity, of the earth. It doesn't have to be humanity, it could be the planet. She needs our help too. But just really getting you in your power. So it's a very spiritual journey that I take you on, but it's not just spiritual, it's very practical. So when you look at the chakra system, which is what I work off of, if you look at the physiology of the chakra system, if you look at the anatomy of the body, we have 7 chakras. And if you look at the spine, there's nerve ganglion that actually sit at each of these chakra points, as they call it, which means there's a large amount of electromagnetic current coming off of your brain and settling into each of these areas, right? So you have the power within your voice to channel that sound to that specific area and stimulate those nerve endings, which eases the nerve of the body, which helps you soothe your stress, ease the body tensions, and actually move vibrationally through the body what you're holding on to, which clears the electromagnetic field that's coming off of your being, which means how you are here in the world of vibration is different. So people feel you differently. People respond to you differently. It's true magic. It's truly an incredible process. But in the case of what you do, right? Because we're here talking together about like building your business, attracting your clients, and making yourself, you know, getting to that number, you seeing yourself as someone who can make it to those 6 figures and really like get yourself. So first, it's about understanding how powerful, who you really are, because 6 figures is nothing for someone who's as powerful as you are. But yet you're right, standing where you are, you're an amazing bridge, because once that starts to move, it's just going to keep on moving. Once you can reach these steps, you realize it's limitless. But you have to first be able to see yourself wearing those pants, right? And moving up there. And the idea of that number is so far, you know, like, how do I get there? But you have a power, you have a vibration, you can bring anything in this realm to you. And it's really not necessarily something you have to chase all that much either. Because when you're standing in your true self and your true vibration, that is felt. It just moves out, goes into the electromagnetic fields out there and pulls it towards you, right? This is something that the average mind doesn't want to know. It's like the work that goes into it, or our school systems and how we've been set up, they don't want us to realize what we're capable of. But the beauty is that when you step into that kind of power and you're truly in your confidence, right? Not ego, confidence. When you get that kind of power, you feel good about yourself. The beauty of it is that you only want to serve. You only want to help, right? So at first, I'm serving me. I need. But that doesn't really do anything for this world or your spirit, because that's not why your spirit came here. But when you're doing something to really benefit the rest of the world, and you're giving something from your being, because your soul came here for everything. It didn't just come here for you. It came here to be a player in the whole game, the whole story. So when you come as a contribution, instead of as a succubus, right? You give yourself to the world with such confidence, and you inspire everything around you to light up. And then the magic starts. Like, then it all floods in, and the abundance that this world has is so profound, and it's all yours. Not selfishly, selflessly. You're offering yourself to the world, and the world comes back in turn to pay you. It's a beautiful switch. So it creates a lot of fearlessness, and it creates a lot of connection. And so the biggest point of suffering in humanity is a feeling of isolation. It's me against the world. It's us and it's them. And you see that happening in the world right now in a huge way. Othering is how I put it, right? There's me and there's the other. But if we could really see ourselves as the one, and you can really offer yourself to the one, the power in the one is so far beyond anything that you have as an isolated idea of self, right? You're disconnected from the source of all of life. So your power is in your authentic expression. That's what I get you to. Authentically expressing. It's okay to be human. We don't have to be perfect. None of us are. Like, big spoiler alert, none of us are perfect. And we all have things that we want to hide, or we think that the world's going to judge. But the more you can stand comfortable in your own skin and share your authenticity and share your vulnerability and just be honest about who you are, the more quality connections you're going to make, and the more your success is just going to bloom. Your abundance is going to pour in. I'm living proof of it, and I've taught people all over the world my method, and they're all living proof of it. I haven't seen this fail yet. I haven't seen my work in the years I've been doing it not change your life to step into your true self and bring you what it is you're looking for in life, truly, like in a place of heartfelt belonging to this earth, instead of just like struggling to get somewhere.
Goodness. That was some pretty powerful stuff there. Goodness. I was like spellbound the whole time, right? But again, a lot of the stuff you say, it's so right. Because I know that for a long part of my life, I knew I kind of saw myself as far as separate from the world, separate from everything, right? I thought it was just myself and there's everything else. But now when you mention the quantum field and quantum physics, what that tells you is that it's all one, right? And you really start changing the way you think about life, the world, what you want, all these different things, because at the end of the day, it's all goes back to just being energy, right?
Everything is energy, and it's limitless. That's the thing. Like, so we're conduits. Like I said, we can bring all that cosmic in through our own bodies. It opens in our crown and it goes down to the root. That root is the Mother Earth. And the earth is the physical manifestation of our spirit in this lifetime, right? So we are spirits that incarnate into an earth body. We're run by two very incredible intelligences, way more intelligent than any one of us might think we are. We would value our intelligence based on books we've read, how good we've done in school, how well we built our careers, right? We're super smart, right? But intelligence that we're actually, what we have our capabilities or what we're capable of is cosmic. Everything intergalactic, the entire Akashic, everything that's been, that our spirit knows, that comes into the earth, and then every part of the physical manifestation of earth that is housed in every cell of our being. It's all the same thing. Every creature is made up of the same thing. Every plant is made up of the same thing. Our bodies, it's all the same thing. It's different chemical compounds coming together, but they're all made up of the same compounds, just in different links, or different chain links, different formulas, right? So we have the intelligence of all of the earth in every cell of our body. Humans have one intelligence that separates us from all of the other species on this planet. We have the cognitive brain. Dolphins have it too. Dolphins have it, and they have a right and left hemisphere and a frontal lobe the same way we do. And they're actually more intelligent than we are because they use them both equally. And humans are always either right or left dominant, which is what leads to us actually needing to dominate in life. Like we're always in some kind of a struggle in our brain waves. But dolphins don't have that struggle, which is why they're pure peace and love, right? And so we have this intelligence, and we have made that so important in our society. And it's the one intelligence that we have that actually separates us from all of the intelligences of everything else on this earth, right? So if you go into the woods, every other creature that's around you is going to know you're there. You're the only creature that might be off in La La Land in your head somewhere and like trip over a log and fall onto an animal, or like not know that the bird is in the tree and like, or step on the bug or whatever it might be. You're the only one that doesn't know. All those other creatures are well aware that a human is in our terrain, right? Their senses are all turned on. But we have this cognitive brain that has become so powerful that it actually separates us from our senses. So we're the dangerous ones here because we can't connect. We're disconnected, right? But when you align that cognitive ability we have, when you can fully align that with the body, you are a god. And you're going to work in conjunction with the planet instead of working and destroying it. That same mind destroys yourself. And I'm sure that you work with clients all the time and see the same thing. That same mind is what tells you that you can't make that 6-figure number. that same mind that will work against you because of programming. And it's not necessarily yours. It was given to you when you were younger, which is what my program actually goes through, like how to unprogram all that early stuff that we were too young to actually or understand, so we coped with it. And the mind becomes full of coping mechanisms. And then we make all of our life choices based on things that are not reality, not what's happening right now, but based on things that we couldn't deal with then and we don't want to deal with now, right? But so the mind, which you think is your best friend, is actually working against you most of the time until you get mastery over it. And so the chanting that we do in the program, the vocal work, what the vocal work does is it connects your mind. You direct your mind to your voice, and your voice goes into the body and reconnects your spirit into the body again. So the way you function as a person actually changes. You actually feel and then think. We used to be feeling beings who thought. We've become thinking beings who feel occasionally. We have thought our way out of fully being able to feel. And so we even feel now how we think we feel. We don't even know how we really feel half the time, right? That's how strong we have made our minds. And our minds are that strong. So why not use them to manifest the life that you want? And the life you want truly, when you get to the truth of the alignment that I lead you to, that the life you want is from here. It's from that original contract. Humans want love. We want connection. We want unitedness. We want oneness. We do not want to be against each other. We do this because we can't love ourselves. When you can't love yourself, you cannot love another. We hear this all the time. It's like an old cliche. Cliches are the truth that we're tired of hearing because we haven't quite figured out how to get to that simple truth yet. So people go, oh, how cheesy. No, how truthful. And your mind that's so complicated doesn't want to acknowledge this because your mind can't get there. Your mind can't get to love. Love doesn't happen in the mind. Love happens in the heart, right? So all of the mental stuff, the ego stuff, and most of the ego gets in your way. Ego can work one of two ways, right? Ego can become, let's say, so ego starts developing in the human being when you're around 5 years old and you first go to school. So let's just say you're in the playground and you get kicked down by a bully, or anyone, doesn't have to be a bully, anyone just like pushes you down and embarrasses you, right? The ego can work one of two ways. It can work in a way where it goes, screw you, I'm gonna be the one now. No, nobody's gonna push me down again. And then you become the one who pushes someone else down, or you just like never let anybody push you down again, right? And you become defiant in some way, or you get bigger than yourself because you have to protect. So that ego, that inflated sense of self, comes in a way to protect something that just happened that embarrassed you. You felt a flush of endorphins. You felt like shameful or something that just didn't feel good to you. So you said, I'm never going to feel that way again. And I'm just going to go the opposite way. No, right? I'm the best. You suck, right? The other way it works is that you go, okay, I'm sorry. I'm never going to do that again. I'm pathetic. I'm a loser. I'm pathetic, right? And then you spend the whole rest of your life feeling bad about yourself. I work with people all the time who I ask them if they think they're an egomaniac, and they say, I don't even like myself. No way am I an egomaniac. And I say, you're still an egomaniac. Because it's the opposite side. It's a trick that your mind is playing on you. You're still thinking about yourself all the time. And that's a good way to determine whether or not you're in your ego. Your I can be, I'm never going to make it. I'm horrible. I'm a terrible person. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not rich enough, whatever it might be. But you're still thinking I all the time. And up there, it's the same thing. I'm the best. I'm going to prove I'm number one. I'm going to get to the top of the ladder. I'm going to be the one who rules everyone else. You're still thinking about I, something, you become the center of the universe, right? So when you're truly in your power and you're truly a confident person, that gets turned around and your I is in service. Your service is only offering your gifts. So it could be that you are the CEO of the company, and it could be that you are the star of the stage. It could be all those things. But the idea is that you're doing it because it is you and you want to give it to the world. And in that confidence, you never need someone else to be better than you. I mean, worse than you. You never need to be better than somebody else. You never need to put someone down so that you can get there. You never need to make someone else feel like they should be under you. It's always, this is me. And once you reach that level, all you want is everybody else to feel like them. And you start to celebrate everyone and all their differences and all their ways of being. And people feel good about their contribution. So I always tell people, you're not as important as you think you are. You're only as important as your contribution to this society, to this world, right? So do believe in yourself, love yourself, be yourself, and be it big and proud and strong, and use your voice in this world. It's very important. It's very important. But you're not as important as you think you are, meaning I am the one, because you are one of 8 billion creators, and we're all creators here on this planet. And your voice is the primary tool of creation on this planet, right? But the idea that you alone will ever do anything, you're automatically in your ego. You are automatically, you're the center of everything. Instead of I can help this whole world. And when you step out with that kind of power within yourself, that feeling of I have something to offer from my heart, you really will make that change. You really will contribute to the world. And yes, we'll probably celebrate you and love you and give you all sorts of awards, and you'll have all the money that you need and all the beauty, and it'll be beautiful. And you deserve all that. It's not like we all don't deserve that. Every one of us does. But it's about really stepping into that power and owning all of that and then giving it to the world. So I teach you how to get there and how to make sure that you use your voice to really be a good representative of who you are, instead of the representative of the person who, you know, the old program, the old story that keeps, it'll never do anything but create the same thing again and again and again. You'll never break the cycle unless you do some of this healing and really get it out of the body, you know. I'll say one more thing. When you were born, the very first thing you did was cry. If you don't cry, they actually used to hit you to make sure you could cry, right? There was something wrong with you. And there are people who are born mute. They have a very different journey for their life and how to express themselves. And I believe that even people who are born mute with the right therapies could unmute themselves, and that could be part of their challenge. But regardless, that baby is born. It comes into the earth. It takes its first breath in. It breathes spirit into the body for the first time. So it's been living off of mother's spirit, and now it comes in, and the first thing it does is go, right? And any of you at home or anybody who has a baby or who's ever held a baby knows that a baby cries with every muscle of its body, right? It pushes sound out. It turns bright red. Its face contorts, you know, like this crazy face, and it just squeezes with everything it has. That's what your voice is designed to do. Your voice is designed to express your feelings, right? That baby doesn't know it has a name. It doesn't even know it has a body yet. The baby doesn't know it has a body until a few months in, when they go, oh, the hand, you know, like babies are just spirit and body. They're brand new, but they know that if they feel something, they have an innate primal tool. It's part of their makeup that they can express it. When that baby cries, it cries because it's hungry, right? It cries because it's dirty. It cries because it's sick. It cries because it's hot or cold or uncomfortable, right? It doesn't cry because it's emotionally charged. It doesn't cry because its feelings are hurt. It doesn't cry because someone didn't act the way they wanted them to. It didn't cry because it didn't get what it wanted. It cries because of survival. It cries without any language. It knows that it needs to express something. When it expresses because it's hungry, mother comes or father comes and feeds it. The baby doesn't know that that cry brought mom or dad to feed it. The baby only knows that now it's not hungry anymore, so it can stop crying. The baby is dirty, it cries, it's uncomfortable, it's sitting in fecal matter, it knows it's not healthy, it knows it can't do this. It cries, dad comes and changes the diaper. It doesn't know the cry brought dad to change the diaper. It only knows it's no longer dirty. It doesn't have to cry anymore. Our voice is designed to express our feelings. It's only later on through our development that our language begins and we learn how to manipulate, and we learn how our voice affects the world. We learn after a temper tantrum at 2.5 that when we kick and scream and cry, mom and dad react. Okay, so every time I do this, they react. There's a reaction, right? And then we start to strategize our lives and use our language. And depending on what kind of traumas or emotional blocks we have and we've developed growing up, we strategize our life through our language. So you can go back in and clean that whole story out and decide who you are right now and what life you want to live. And you can use the right language to make sure that that happens for you.
Goodness. Maryn, holy goodness. This is some pretty powerful stuff. It's one of those places where this is some amazing stuff. Have you written any books or anything like that?
I'm in the process of writing my first book. It should be out by the end of the year. I've been working really hard I do one-on-one sessions. I have a program that I work with clients one-on-one. So it's 12 online sessions. You can reach out to me. I have a website, vocal-transformation.com. I've also do workshops. So I have one coming up in November. God, hope we can all travel by then. But I have a week-long transformation workshop where we're going to go through every bit of the program in 1 week in Costa Rica. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But that's pretty much right now. I've just been doing one-on-one clients because it's really deep, profound work, right? So I did realize about 4 or 5 months ago, someone came to me and said, this has to be in a book. Like, people have to be able to work on their own if they can't, dedicate to you or like work with you that way or afford you. And I agree. I think that it's important. So right now I'm in the process of writing my book, which will have an online course that will go along with it. And I'm thinking by January that will be out and done. Maybe December, but January for sure. We'll have the first course out.
Mm-hmm. Powerful stuff, powerful stuff. And what other ways, are there any other ways for individuals, if someone wanted to take the next step with you, to be able to connect?
Yeah, so I just say go to vocal-transformation.com or find me on Facebook. I'm part of your group, right? So you're part of this group. Come find me on the group and just reach out to me. Send me a message. You can email me through the website, and then we'll have a consultation. They're totally free. We can talk about what your goals are and where you're at and see if working together would be a good fit.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. Well, again, Maryn, hey, thank you so much for making the time to be here today. I really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we end?
Just don't be afraid to be successful. The only thing I can say is that this world needs good-hearted people right now. So I know that a lot of us are afraid for our own success and for like, what if I make it? What if I'm a failure? The only thing I want to say right now when I look at everything that's going on in the world is it's a time of incredibly powerful change. We're coming through a pandemic that we've never seen anything like this in our lifetimes. And we're all becoming very resourceful, and we're all starting to realize how important our connections are. And also that we're in a moment where we can make a change happen in our world. So if your line of work, if your career out there is going to help serve the people, just don't be afraid to go out there and show the world who you are. There's so many people in the world who are afraid to do this that all they have to see is someone who's not, and you will lead the way, right? So confidence is key. Follow your heart and get out there and go make yourself great. Just be great. You are great. That's all I can say.
Awesome. Love it. So, hey, thanks again, and we'll be in touch, okay?
Yes. Thank you. You will.
Awesome.